Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will, and I didn't lose in fantasy this week. Joining me today, I've got two spectacular co-hosts. Why don't you two introduce yourselves?
Hey, what's up? My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at @GASanDiego. That is with 2 O's.
My non-government name is Mac, and you can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFiend, and we're here to help break down a little bit of the Cardinals shellacking of the Chicago Bears, led by Kyler Murray's 4-touchdown performance and Jordan Hicks, who becomes the 5th player and 6th overall to win NFC Player of the Week honors for the Arizona Cardinals. So let's get right to it.
This game is exactly what I thought would happen, and is exactly what I needed to see from Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, Kyler Murray's stat line for this game does not look sexy, but it is fucking deceptive. He had himself a wonderful game. He braved the elements, and he put on a show. He was 1 for 15, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. His passer rating was 136.9. Kyler Murray had himself a day. I mean, even despite the weather and everything that was going on. Guys, what do you guys think?
I think Kyler's all the way back.
He's back?
I think Kyler is all the way back. Yep. And I mean, yeah, you're right. It wasn't a spectacular lights out performance, but you do what you got to do in those kind of conditions, and you get the dub, and that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones is over there in New England jealous that Kyler Murray was able to throw the ball 15 times. I mean, to go 11 for 15, though, I mean, coming back after nearly a month, that was definitely, what the doctor ordered. And that's, especially from the get-go, that 4th down and 2 right there, Cliff wanted to come out and, take it to the Bears a little bit early on and make a little bit of a statement. And that dime to DeAndre Hopkins, that was just a thing of beauty.
That was pure
nice having him back.
And I mean, D-Hop is one of the few people who can make that catch work. Kyler Murray is one of the few people who can make that throw work. I mean, Kyler Murray was magic this weekend. He had himself a day. There was a play early on. Bobby has the picture. He could pull it up in just a second. Where Kyler has 5 Bears defenders on him. He's on the run. He's at like the 5, and he beats every single one of them to get in for the touchdown. I mean, there are very few quarterbacks in this league that can do what Kyler does. And just in terms of merit and what he brings to the table, I think he is the MVP. I think he should be that. Whether or not the press and all of them see it that way, that's a different story. But Kyler Murray came back and proved what he is to this team, and I think he did spectacular.
But didn't Pro Football Focus have Andy Dalton graded better than fucking Kyler Murray? Get the fuck out of here.
Did you see the reasoning behind that? Something about his backwards pass, which wasn't a backwards pass.
Yeah, his fumbles, like.
Chris Collinsworth can fuck off, man. Fuck him.
No, it's ridiculous that they use Kyler Murray as we got lucky that he didn't turn the ball over. When in reality, sure, Kyler fumbled twice, dropped on both of them, recovered both of them. Andy Dalton over here throws 4 INTs, and he gets called. It's luck. 3 of those were lucky, so that's the reasoning that they gave. Like. What other reason did you see, Jackie?
No, that had Kyler had thrown that backwards pass. It's like the ball slipped out of his hand. But I mean, give Andy Dalton a higher passer rating when his favorite receivers were all Cardinals defenders.
And I promise this is going to be like the last time we talk about Pro Football Focus. We don't really bring them up at all. I don't know if other Cardinals podcasts do, but
I only ever bring them up when they support my arguments.
Right. But I mean, when you have Rodney Hudson graded 20 points lower than Mason Cole, you lose all the benefit of. Yeah, and last year we all saw Mason Cole get friggin' demolished, bulldozed
I wanted to fight him
once or twice a game. Once or twice a game,
Jackie,
we saw that shit. And Rodney Hudson only has 2 points better grade than Mason Cole did last year. Get the fuck out of that. So on that note, like you said, Kyler Murray, he entered the day with the best passer rating in the NFL at 110.4, and he came back to AZ, bumping it up nearly 2 points to 112.2, and is nearly 6 points higher than the number 2 guy, which is who we're going to be facing on Monday when the Rams and Matthew Stafford come to town.
And the crazy thing about that is he didn't even throw 100 for 150 yards. He did all of that without even having to do that. I think that is Murray's magic. That is incredible. This might be a stretch, but the game that this reminded me of, and you guys can disagree with me if you want, I just got that vibe, was last year's game against the Cowboys, which
why? Because it's Dalton.
Well, yeah, but it also felt like we were kind of showing off against a really bad team.
Oh yeah. And Kyler didn't put up crazy stats either, but he still had a good game.
Yeah, he didn't need to, right?
He had 4 touchdowns in that game, right?
Yeah, but that game he threw for 177 yards. Yeah, we were just able to 261 on the ground last year against the Cowboys. But what I found, maybe the most crazy stat, I guess. We talked about it in the offseason how we didn't want Kyler rushing as much this year. But I did not know that here we are, entering week 14, and the 59 rushing yards that Kyler had last week was season high. So, but to be able to go from a team that really couldn't win if Kyler wasn't able to use his legs effectively, to be a team that it doesn't matter for the most part whether he has to rush or he doesn't. This is just a well-oiled machine right now, and DeAndre Hopkins only caught 2 passes. One of those was at TD. So definitely expecting. I think we're going to see Kyler stepping back a little bit more often and going to D-Hop on Monday night for sure.
Oh yeah, and I mean, if State Farm Stadium isn't crazy on Monday, I'm gonna be fucking mad, man. Because this is probably one of the biggest regular season bouts, if not the biggest, in Cardinals history.
Yeah, the Rams are going to come out firing too because they were embarrassed the last matchup at their own place. We rushed for 200 and something. It was our season high in rushing yards. So I expect a much better effort, especially from Aaron Donald up front. He was basically invisible last game.
We were making him look stupid.
Right,
yeah,
Kyler.
There was that jump play where Kyler
he's jumping on him.
Give him a low 5 as he fucking flies by him. Yeah, but I definitely expect a different intensity from the Rams coming out. Divisional game, and for the most part, if they lose, the Cardinals essentially clinch the NFC West. So they're going to do everything in their power to try to stop that. But this team right here, I mean, there's only one game this year that we got owned, and that was the Panthers game. The Packers game, we were right there to the end. We could have won it, should have won it. But that Panthers game was really the outlier, the only game where we got fucked up in the trenches, so to speak, on both sides of the ball. So I know people are worried about us at home because we haven't really played great at home, but this would be a good game for us to kind of quiet down that chatter a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of which, the Panthers are in fucking free fall right now. I mean, they just fired their offensive coordinator, and their final 5 games are just a brutal 5. Have you guys seen what their 5 is?
No, what's their 5?
So they play the Falcons this week, so that's easy-ish. But then next week they have to go into the frozen tundra of Buffalo. Then the week after that they've got to go and face Tampa at home. Then they face the Saints in New Orleans, and then they go to Tampa to play. That's
good luck with that.
Yeah, Matt Rule is.
So RIP to the Panthers.
If Matt Rule is not out of a job, then yeah, they have a 3.5% chance to make the playoffs, and here I was hearing them talk all that shit. Oh, it's so good. Bathe me in it, motherfucker. I love it.
If you guys don't know, Will lives in Carolina, so he gets all that inside knowledge. Yeah. But before we get too much further along, how you doing, Jackie? When's your due date? I know you're ready to pop, right?
So I was originally due on January 7th, but my blood pressure is higher than giraffe pussy. So I have to give birth at 37 weeks, which happens to be not tomorrow, but next Friday. So I will have a baby soon.
Ooh, we're doing a live show from the delivery room, right? Is that what we were talking about?
Yep, we're gonna do Facebook Live. Everybody can be up front. Get your ponchos ready.
The first podcast where a live birth is performed.
As our subscribers jump up to 1,000.
Yeah, if our subscriber count gets to 1,000, we'll do a giveaway of my placenta.
Oh my god!
But yeah, hey, we'll have a playoff baby.
But how about, what do you guys think about Jalen Thompson's season so far? Is he the most underrated player on this team, or who do you guys have as maybe a little more underrated, if anybody?
That is a really hard question, because it feels like there are so many people who fit that category. I mean, Jalen Thompson isn't even the only Thompson that I'd classify as underrated.
Mm-hmm.
This Cardinals team is just loaded, and nobody's talking about it.
Especially Jalen Thompson.
That's second.
They're not. It's okay. I'm having a fucking stroke here. It's almost cliche to say that nobody's talking about the Cardinals, to the point where saying that it almost becomes talking about the Cardinals. But I mean, I feel like if we win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna wake up.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Well, let me fucking finish my sentence. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna grab a coffee. I'm gonna fucking put on First Take, and I'm gonna find Stephen A. Smith and fucking whoever's on his segment. Keyshawn Johnson talk about, the Cowboys. Who's gonna be in the Super Bowl next year? The Cowboys or the Packers or some fucking dumb shit. By the way, like, maybe I'm just out of fucking touch or whatever, but like, are the Cowboys even still that big? I mean, they haven't been a dynasty, like, truly in 20 years. So why are they still dominating? I mean, shit, man, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Thompson, he's actually been the best Cardinals tackler this year, and that's saying something when you have Budda Baker playing next to him. But Jalen Thompson's tied for 28th in the league for most tackles with 85. Only 9 players in the league of those 85 have a better missed tackle percentage than his 5.6%. Of the 11 starters on the Cardinals defense, he has the number 1 ranked missed tackle percentage. So that goes along with, I mean, he's a thumper back there. And then that almost allows Budda Baker doesn't put too much, takes a little bit of weight off of his chest, I believe. And as I put a tweet out there, I believe yesterday. So here's Budda Baker this season. His passer rating against is 62.9. Last season was 115. Season prior, 125. His rookie year is 106.2. He ranks 22nd in all the NFL right now in passer rating against. That's not something I, would thought of even, last year. I thought he had some good games last year, but nothing to where we see this huge jump. And you can just tell he's put in the work. He deserves, all accolades. And he's underrated as well. You don't hear people talking about Budda Baker because he's just at the right spot at the right time, does his thing. He's not super flashy. But we won't bring up that Andy Dalton tackle. That's the one thing we won't bring up with Budda Baker, because I know he doesn't want to hear it. But, yeah, that secondary, I know a lot of people talk about our up front, our rush game against. It hasn't been great, but you'd rather be that way than getting burnt through the air all the time. You're going to make that other team try to run down the field 10, 15 plays and execute everything without trying to turn the ball over to punch it in the end zone. I'd much rather have that than a secondary that's getting dissected. So shout out to Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson for holding it down back there, the safeties.
I do think I think in terms of like sheer value, I think Jalen Thompson is the most underrated, because the fact that we got him out of the supplemental draft, we gave up a 5th round pick to get him, and he's having this kind of having this kind of production. I mean,
soon.
I mean, this is kind of a funky parallel, but I remember during the NBA draft, the Suns gave up their 29th overall pick to get Landry Shamet, and people were like, well, what about, why didn't we keep our 29th pick? We could have used that to get somebody. And the guy that the fucking team we traded him to get got fucking
the Nets.
got like a fucking G leaguer to get him. So I mean, if you can use those draft picks and exchange them for the kind of players that will make that instant impact, like your Jalen Thompsons, I mean, do it. I mean, Jalen Thompson is just having himself a year, and if I am a quarterback, I am not throwing anywhere near him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so if you don't throw it near him, you're gonna have to go at Byron Murphy, who I mean, let's
also having
say
himself
like,
a year.
oh yeah, he's following around most of the wide receiver ones on opposing teams. There's my fucking little puppy. But then, so if you're going to go towards Byron, who now has 4 INTs, which is the most by a Cardinal since Antoine Bethea in 2017, which is crazy to think of.
Yeah.
And so then what are you going to do? You're going to go after Robert Alford, who's currently given up 5.0 yards per target this season, third best in the NFL by any defensive player that has seen at least 50 targets against them, and who's given up 56% of completions on the passes that have been thrown his way. So I mean, there's no weakness in that secondary for sure. And
Yeah, I mean,
I wish Malcolm Butler the best, but he should have stayed on. He had a good chance to win a ring.
yeah, the fact that he hasn't jumped on another roster, that speaks volumes. But I mean, that 2015 team was dubbed the no-fly zone. But I mean, if this isn't that, it's a close second. You do not want to throw into this secondary, and I pity any quarterback that does have to. Yeah, they were talking on the radio today. I think it was Wolfley who said that this is probably the biggest. This game coming up is the biggest game of Stafford's career, just in terms of volume and what it means. Because
I agree with that.
Yeah, his reputation's on the line.
His reputation's on the line. It disproves.
He's more of he's a shiny Kirk Cousins at this point. You know what? You got to do something when it counts.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had this theory for a while that like there is this like middle class of quarterbacks, like the guys who it's like you're fine with them being on your team, but they're never. I mean, if there's an upgrade, you always go for the upgrade. I think that Stafford falls into that. I think Matt Ryan falls into that. I think, sorry, Sanders, Kirk Cousins falls into that. Stafford, I don't know, man. This is a prove-it game for him.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest game of his career because he's got a losing record against 5 teams that are above 500. And did you guys happen to catch Dan Orlovsky saying that given between Kyler Murray and Matthew Stafford, he would take Matthew Stafford? And someone in the comments was like, well, Kyler doesn't choke in big games. And someone was like, well,
run into the back of the end zone.
No, but then someone else was like, well, Kyler hasn't really played in big games. And then some other person was like, well, neither is Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Kyler's
right now their playoff record is the same. They've both never won a playoff game.
Right. I mean, if I had to bet my life on one of those two guys, Dan Orlovsky really going to put his money on fucking Matthew Stafford? I mean, Kyler Murray's been playing in front of 50K people in the stands since high school. I mean, he's played in huge games and big moments. He just maybe hasn't done it at the NFL level, but hate to break the news to you, Dan, but he's gonna this year, and there are gonna be a lot of people out there who, Keyshawn and all those talking heads who are gonna be biting their tongues here, eating crow in the next few weeks, months, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yep.
On everybody in the NFL, deep pass with the fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have a death ray pointed at Earth, and you better throw it. I want Kyler Murray to throw that pass. Fuck yeah.
I love the enthusiasm. But yeah, I mean, the friggin' Rams haven't beaten a team over 500 since week 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It could be, let's see here.
Was it the Bucs?
Yep, the Bucs. So, and I believe week 2 is the Colts. So I think those are the first 2 games, those wins. Because last week they beat Jacksonville. Cool, good for you. Yeah. Week before, lost to the Packers. Week before, lost to the 49ers. Week before, lost to the Titans.
He had
week
like
before,
a pick 6 streak in that 3 games.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah, until Jacksonville.
And that's the guy he wants? Jesus.
Yeah, these motherfuckers have beat up on the Texans, the Lions, the Giants, the Seahawks, the Bears. So yeah,
whooping up on bad teams.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a game on Monday. I think. Last time they were here, Robert Woods was in there. Now you have Odell Beckham. I believe he's got touchdowns in both of his games that he played. I think last was it Darrell Henderson did not play, if I'm not mistaken, the first time around, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be out there this week. So it's going to be a clash, and we're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I'm not at all impressed by the Rams' victories this year. Like, I mean, they beat the Buccaneers before they hit their stride. They beat the Colts before they figured out what the fuck to do with Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not impressed by this Rams team.
I'll have to give a shout out to Jill Salmon on Twitter. I think I posted something before the season. I think I did my win-loss record on there, and I went 10-7, but I had 2 losses against the Rams. And she said something like, "No, we're gonna, this is our time, yada yada yada." And she's the only one in the comments who was like, not believing in the Rams. And I was like, Yeah, but so far up to this point, I know the Rams, they're not horrible or anything like that, but they don't look on the same level as us. So shout out to Jill. I think she listens. So if you do, shout out. Yeah.
That bad Cardinals take lady has to find that tweet so she can retweet it.
Right. I know, because even I was skeptical about our chances against the Rams coming into the season. So I'm really glad I'm putting my foot in my mouth.
Yo, fuck John Skelton.
And fuck John Skelton.
And anybody who chugs beer like their balls on their chin or something.
I mean, who in their right minds would predict the Cardinals to be anywhere except where they are right now? I mean, who would do that? I don't know anybody who would.
So what was your record again, Will?
16-0. Which is really funny because there's 17 games.
Weird because there's 17 games.
Will changed his win-loss record about 4 times before we started. It was like 3-13, 3-14 at one point.
I never said that. Take that back. I will sue.
No, I said 12-5, and right before the season started, I changed it. Yeah, then I said 10-7.
I thought Malcolm Butler was going to affect us a little bit more. I didn't.
Yeah.
Marco Wilson.
Fair, I don't think anybody could have accounted for that saga going the way it did.
No, but for Marco Wilson to come in and he's been a typical, I'd say, I don't know if typical
rookie corner.
Yeah, but he's like you said in the chat, Jackie, he's baptism by fire, basically. And I think he's right there on most plays. He's just, it's the NFL, you got to get your head around a little bit quicker than what you'd have to,
right.
But I think he's on
better,
he's on the right track though, and he's definitely held his own.
The one thing that really does scare me though about this team is that our run D is still in need of work. I mean, this was the 3rd game in a row where they gave up 4 carry, and Montgomery's a fine running back, but he's not the kind of guy who should be putting up 90 yards on you.
Oh yeah, he is. Montgomery's a stud. 90 yards ain't much. I mean, there's 6 teams in the NFL who average less than 90 yards. And the only reason I know that is because the Cardinals are 10-0 now this year when they rush for 90 yards or more this season. And that's the only real stat I could find that, it linked every game to win or loss. And really, it's their 2 losses were under 75 yards. So if we don't get held to 75 yards or less, it's a chance we're going to be winning. And I mean, 90 yards isn't 150 yards. 90 yards ain't bad, especially when you have, the Matt Nagy as your coach and Andy Dalton as your fucking QB.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I feel like it could be a bigger problem later, especially since we do still.
It's still
especially since we do still have Jonathan Taylor on the schedule.
Tony Pollard, coming up. So. But like I said, like Vance Joseph was on the radio this week talking about how last year we were top 5 or something like that, and rusty, and that didn't translate to wins, and so there is kind of like a a give and take. You're going to give up a little more yards on the ground to be a little bit stiffer over the top, I think, a little bit. So, but hopefully the playoffs come. J.J. Watt is in there. That would, that definitely
would
won't
help.
hurt. Yeah. And then Jordan Hicks, I mean, I know we haven't talked about him other than just saying he got the Player of the Week award, but he's been stepping it up. So he's 17th in tackles this season with 95. Nobody else inside the top 50 as of before Monday Night Football game. I'm not going to go back and relook this fucking stat up after one game. Nobody else inside the top 50 has as many as his 5 sacks, though. So as much as, we all kind of want to see more Zaven out there, Jordan Hicks is the guy.
Yeah.
And I think he's been better in the run game than what he was earlier in the year, to be honest. I thought he was not always in the right place at the right time, as you would think Jordan Hicks would be. But hopefully it's just one of those things where it doesn't really affect the win and loss like it has so far. So,
and with that being said, he is my big dick player of the game.
There's some music, Bobby, some house music.
And he's also Max Williams to the max player. I like how Max Williams had to copy me and give an award to
Did he really?
Player.
I didn't see that on Twitter.
He's got a little, he gives out a little trophy. It's to the max player of the game.
Well, we need to get you a trophy thing then. We need a.
It needs to be a big dick.
Okay. Just like get dragon dildos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had himself a nice game. I mean, Zach Allen. I mean, with that nice little snag. I mean,
Zach Allen.
He's going to be an important part for the rest of this season too. Him coming in his own, year 3, year 4. This is the moments that why Steve Keim drafted him where he did so high. So I'm excited to see what he has up his sleeve, because I think the sky's kind of the limit for Zach Allen. He's got all the tools necessary. He just needs to stay on the field more often than not, and hopefully it all kind of comes together. And we were watching the game. I saw Jordan Phillips was fairly active again. He seems to be moving the line of scrimmage back, which is a good thing to see. We didn't really see that last year, so hopefully it all comes together and we get a healthy J.J. Watt. But if not, I got faith in this team. I got faith in the front 7 and the secondary especially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a point in that game where I didn't think they would win. And
no.
Yeah, I mean, it felt from the outset like they had it in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, it was 33-14 in the fourth, And honestly, that's one of those games that Colt McCoy more than likely would have won. I know Kyler had the 4 touchdowns. 3 of those, he was gifted the ball inside our own 30, or the Bears 30. So that's a game that Colt McCoy probably does come in there and win too. Our defense was stout from the beginning. Sure, we gave some yards here and there, but when you create 4 turnovers and you don't turn the ball over yourself, you're going to come away victorious more times than not, even if Kyler wasn't back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler had himself a day.
He had himself a day without having to have himself a day.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't anything too dynamic, too flashy. He got in there.
Fumbled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He threw a backwards pass.
I find it funny. Real quick though. Kyler Murray leads the league in fumble recoveries with 10.
We are the most fumbliest team.
Has he only lost 1 yet?
No, he hasn't. He's fumbled 9 times, and I mean, some of those might be the handoff or whatnot. And I know I believe they have the Cardinals at like 22 total fumbles, and we've only given up 2.
Yeah.
And I think 3 or 4 from the centers. From Max Garcia had a couple, I believe. I think Rodney Hudson has 1 or 2. But yeah, we've only given up 2 all year. So Kyler leads the league in most fumbles that he's put on the ground at 9, but he also leads the league in recoveries at 10. So, and that's one of those things. It's like you're really going to knock him for that when, he does everything else like almost. Yeah, I mean, sure, you're not going to write off a little fumble when he's over here throwing those dimes to DeAndre Hopkins or escaping the pocket and being able to, score on a scamper that 99% of QBs aren't going to score on. Like that's just what kind of irritates me with some of these, experts out there.
Going back to Jordan Phillips, one of his plays actually led to one of the best calls by the announcers of the game. Phillips drove him to the ground like a Cadillac on a Sunday afternoon.
I heard that.
That was great. I mean, this defense was really great. I mean, some of the best things about this defense that we saw this week were the small things, like on that Buddha pick where he ran it from our 20
77 yards.
77 yards. Fotu kept up the whole time, and he was 5 yards behind him. And I think that's fucking great. That's outstanding.
That's athleticism.
Yeah, I mean that's that rugby background really showing up there for Fotu. I love that. Just the little things like that just really make it work. The Cards' first possession on their own side of the field in this game was with 8:40 in the second.
That's fucking nuts. Yeah,
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, when you kick the ball off to the opposing team and your defense can create two, back-to-back turnovers on the first two possessions, and then your offense can pound it into the end zone to make it 14-0 like that, without even having to get the ball on your side of the field. I mean, that's textbook right there. You can't ask for much more than that.
How the fuck does Matt Nagy have a job still?
I mean, I would say they have nudes of the owners, but I mean that's Virginia McCloskey. I'm pretty sure she's like 97.
Yeah,
Christ almighty.
What was I going to say, though? But, so, yeah, I mean, because of those turnovers in the short fields, we had the ball for only 25 minutes last game against the Bears. That's the first time in 3 years we've won a game where we've had the ball for 25 minutes or less.
That's insane.
And the two previous games that we lost, we had the ball for less than 25 minutes, just like that. We got, the other team time of possession, had 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes than us. So the Cardinals kind of checked everything off the box right there. They kind of make me speechless. There's really not too much you can really say. And the only other thing I want to say is that Kyler Murray leads the NFL in completion percentage. And there's only one guy in the NFL who's made multiple starts this year that has a higher completion percentage but doesn't qualify. He doesn't have enough starts. And that's your boy fucking Colt McCoy. Isn't that fucking crazy? Like that's just like blew my mind. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I had something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, Matt Nagy's the biggest blemish on that Andy Reid coaching tree. I mean, most of it's just impeccable, and then you look at it and he's like the bastard stepchild.
Where did he come from? He was in KC.
Yeah, he was Andy Reid. I want to say his OC in
before Benjamin. Okay.
Yeah. Hold up. I'll tell you. Give me like 1 second. Wait, no, I was looking at Andy Reid. What did I have?
Yeah. While we're doing that, I'm gonna pick myself up and let's announce the pick'ems. Who won pick'ems this week, Jackie? Do you know? I know you said 2 weeks ago.
He was their OC in 16 and 17, so like a year.
Okay.
No, I did not win pick'ems this week. If that's what you're asking.
You told everyone that you're gonna win out. Like what the heck?
What the fuck?
You lit a fire under me. Now I've won 2 in a row.
Okay. We can lose together.
Well, and Will didn't lose fantasy this week?
Yep, I actually beat somebody's ass in fantasy.
What the hell? I need to go out and whoop someone's ass real quick.
And you started Lamar Jackson?
Go whoop Mason Cole's ass. Yeah,
where's Mason Cole? I'm gonna fucking whoop his ass.
Well, I mean, I mostly won because the other guy had like 5 starters who weren't playing.
No, he's gonna hold me.
5 starters that weren't playing. Oh yeah, you're in those free leagues. Yeah, I want to play in a money league with you, Will. Let's do that next year. That'd be fun.
No,
that'd be real fun.
Not a chance. No way.
Well, shout out to everyone still listening here. We appreciate you guys.
And a birthday shout out to Brandon.
What up, Brandon? What up, you dog? I know we just
Happy
passed
birthday,
100
Pete.
subscribers, right? Did you just say that, Will, before we jumped on?
Yeah, I mean, we passed 100.
Nice.
Next stop, 101.
Shit.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
1,000, somebody gets my placenta.
Don't do it, folks. She means it.
I heard they're great stews.
We need a sponsor on here. Come on, people. Bring it up. I know there's some freaks that listen to this show.
Yep.
Stuff that
one lucky guest
in a
will
rich
cut
wallet.
So what else you got? What else we got lined up?
Well, like on predictions.
I mean, we can, but I've actually got like a few more notes.
I
think.
By all means.
Okay, I got some. So we're getting to that point in the season where we have to start asking the tough questions. And
I don't know who we're gonna draft. Jesus.
No.
Man. Every week.
I don't know who we're gonna draft.
We're gonna draft Sauce
Don't know
Gardner.
who murdered John Benet Ramsey. I'm working on the case.
It was the brother, duh. No, but like the toughest question I think in this going into this offseason is who do you bring back? Because we've only got so much money, and we've got a bunch of people that we do need to retain. So running backs, Edmonds or Connor, who do you keep?
I mean, the crazy thing about James Conner is, I think he's one touchdown away from his career high. I believe that was his second season, but he's averaging his lowest yards per carry. But he's got 20 of 22 passes this year, which leads the Cardinals. It's crazy looking at the Cardinals receivers and running backs, tight ends. Their catch rate is fucking unreal. I mean, obviously with Kyler leading the NFL. And he's going to be 26. Chase Edmonds is what, 24, 25. Who's more indispensable?
It's hard to say because it's like there are two different styles of running back. Plus, like we kind of know what we're getting out of Chase because he's been with us for a couple of years. Versus, like I don't know, like if Connor has this good year this year and then like the next year it's like a Kenyon Drake kind of thing where he falls off.
So that's multi-year deal or something.
They're the same age. They're both 26, and you guys know how I feel about giving like running backs these second contracts because like 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work. But I mean,
I would keep James Conner. I think he's so valuable inside the goal line, inside the 5. What does he have? God, I had that stat a couple of weeks ago. I said on here. I know he's been stopped a couple of times, but I think he's only been stopped inside the 5-yard line twice all season, maybe 3 times.
And
so I think
pretty good at like catching the ball too.
Oh yeah,
I think that in terms of like what is more
that one-handed fucking catch, we didn't even talk about that.
That
was a thing of beauty.
That if I remember that screen he had versus the Rams, that was nice. I mean, I saw somebody say, "Well, you can get somebody like Connor for cheap in the free agency." He's like, "The fuck you can." I mean, Edmonds' style of play is more common than Connor. Connor's a bruiser. You don't see that kind of shit often in the NFL. And while it doesn't usually
not someone
last,
who's still in their prime. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
It's a tricky fucking scenario because it's like
Connor, that is a tough question.
Yeah.
We don't usually like tough questions on this show, but that was a good question.
Like, this is like, what have you done for me lately? So we haven't seen a lot of Chase Edmonds because he's been on IR. So it's easy to say Connor right now, but then like Chase can come back and kill it the rest of the season.
Chase should be back Monday, right?
Yes.
He was practicing today, and he is off the IR. If I were to pick somebody off the free agency and I had the choice, this would probably be a tricky get because he is having a spectacular season this year. Cordaro Patterson, I would love to see him as a Cardinal, and I'd like to see him as our kick returner because he is the best kick returner Well, either him or Hester in league history.
He's
I would
going
love
to
to
be
see
tough to
him
get
as
away.
Cardinal.
He's going to get a payday. I don't think that's really the route we're going to end up going. I think we're going to let one of them go and probably draft someone.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you have that one of those like low first round picks, that is your skill position players.
Oh, you're going to get the best running back or the second best running back in the draft.
Yeah, I mean there's a reason why it's always a wide receiver or a running back or a local talent. I mean, the fucking Bucks drafted Kyle Trask there this year. Do they need a quarterback? Fuck no.
Where did they draft him?
Was that?
Where did the Bucks draft him?
32nd.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Bucks spent a first round pick on a fucking quarterback.
Oh no, that was their second. Who did they fucking draft in the first round then?
Either way, it's gonna be nice having Chase come back though. What he put up 100 and something, half of our yards on the ground last time we faced the Rams. So I believe so. I mean, he's it's the perfect compliment. I mean, we've talked about. I know when we went on the Browns podcast, we brought it up how it's kind of like a poor man's Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
But yeah, they make a good tandem.
Yeah, and I mean, you're gonna have to game plan for. I mean, we were putting 2 running backs in the backfield. What are you gonna do? You're gonna game plan for James Conner fucking up the gut, or are you gonna game plan, Chase coming out wide? And you can do both of those. I mean, it's the perfect situation that we got here. I would love to bring them both back, I guess, but I don't think any running back we do bring back is going to get more than a 2-year contract. It's 2 years. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the lifespan of an NFL running back isn't very long.
Yeah, I mean it is probably the most, or one of the most disposable positions in the NFL. I was going to say the most, but then I remember like kickers are a thing. So
yeah,
man, it's nice that we don't have to worry about. Man, remember when we had to worry about kickers? It's nice that we don't gotta.
Let's not bring that up. I was looking up player of the week stats and mentioned how the Cardinals have 6 players of the week, or 6 times we won player of the week, and 5 different players have won it. The Bengals are the only team that have 5 total, so we're leading that. But I was looking at Zane Gonzalez has won player of the week twice for special teams. What the
fuck that guy?
Fuck that guy.
Fuck Zane Gonzalez. By the way, I've said it last year. I'm gonna say it again. South Carolina Gamecocks legend Parker White is going to be a Cardinal. Book that shit. It's gonna happen. But
that's the guy you were talking about in like week 3 this year, right?
No. That was the Illinois punter. Parker White.
Oh.
Parker White is one of the most.
He sounds like a kicker.
Parker White is one of the most fucking interesting people.
That's the most kickerish name I've ever heard in my life.
It is, but let me finish. The thing with him is like in his freshman year, if I remember, he was a walk-on, and because like Muschamp would never just get a kicker, he'd always have walk-ons, and they always sucked. But the thing is, I figured him out quickly, and I think a lot of people did too, is that he would only ever kick it straight. So like you have to kick a game-winning field goal and you're on the right hash, you're fucked because all he ever did was kick it straight.
He can't turn left.
but I mean, all of a sudden he fucking turns it around and figures it out, and all of a sudden he's now considered one of the best kickers in college football. So I mean, watch him come to the Cardinals and revert to that old mold.
Okay.
We're gonna draft him first round.
Sebastian Janikowski type pick.
Yeah.
What else you got lined up in the notes?
Shit. Let me go back. Not much. I mean, I got like a couple minor complaints. That wide receiver pass shouldn't have been as well executed as it was for the Bears. But I mean, it's hard to stop that shit. It feels like the passing percentage on those type of plays is just ridiculous.
Hey, when you're desperate, you got to do shit like that to try to beat the Cardinals.
Exactly. You need gimmicks. Yep. We'll give that up all day if they want to do that. We'll catch on to that if they keep running it. But I mean, once a game when you're getting your ass kicked, yeah, sure, you can have it.
And the other thing I didn't quite like was the roughing the punter call, because I did think that Gardeck was going for the ball, and I think that was bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of those roughing calls are just
I
inertia.
hate those roughing calls, like the roughing the kicker. Like, it's hard to slow your momentum down when you're trying to make a big play like that.
I think that there needs to be leeway for when it is just inertia, because it can't all just be malice.
I was waiting for you to drop inertia. You did that last. We had another flag on a punt block, 5 games ago or something. You kept on bringing up inertia, so I was just waiting. Over here waiting.
Gotta flex that 60 in science I got in high school.
I mean, Gardeck has to be a little bit smarter than that, to be honest.
True.
I mean,
because that
is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been bad, but
if it was a little bit
we ended up
closer
getting the ball right back after that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like literally the next play, if I remember right? Man.
Damn near it. Yep.
That is really something, though. So with that win, I mean, they have 7 consecutive road wins for the second time in franchise history.
Franchise history or league history?
Franchise history.
What was the stat? Sorry, it was
7 consecutive road wins.
God damn. Okay.
In 47-48, they had 8 of them. So.
Yeah.
I remember those times since I'm the boomer on this fucking show.
Yeah. You wake up at 3 a.m. to mow the lawn.
Milk the cows and feed the chickens.
Before we move on, I'll give a little shout out to my pops. I don't know if he's listening. I posted this on Facebook, and I know he listens sometimes. But he's a professional Santa, and he was in Flagstaff. And this last week, during the fourth quarter of the game, we got a call saying that some of the Santas had to rush him to the ER. He was in like super back pain. So I just wanted to say, Dad, shout out, love you. And they ended up finding it's a bacterial infection in his blood. So this is going to take a couple weeks to figure out everything out. So shout out, Pops. You're the hardest working guy I know. Love you. So hope you get well soon.
A GoFundMe that I could retweet? Or...
No, because right now we don't even know. The doctors don't even know the whole prognosis. They said it could be days, weeks. We just don't know yet. So, but they're going to release him, I think, on Saturday. So my brother and I are going to drive up there, and my brother's probably going to drive my dad's car back down. So it's been a little bit hectic and crazy. It's been a long year with him and everything he's gone through. So I just want to give him a little shout out before we move on to pick'ems, and I forget about it.
I get you.
Shout out Max Dad. Thoughts and prayers with you guys.
Get well, Max's pop.
Macaulay Strong. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Man. But yeah, man, we're gonna pray for him. But
Thank you. Yeah. Let's do it. Not to make anyone cry on here, but I just wanted to get that in real quick before we moved along into the back end of our episode.
On a lighter note, shout out to my dad. He actually got to travel to Chicago to see the game with my sister.
Oh, shut up. Nice.
Yeah, I was very jealous and bitter, but also super stoked. That was my dad's first road game. Happened to be
was he the guy who was struggling to get the punch off?
No, and I'm so glad that's not my family, but my family has never been in that type of cold weather, so I was trying to give them all the tips, even though I've only been in cold weather for a year. But
what did they say about it? Because that should look cold as fuck.
They said it was fucking freezing, and then it was raining. So it was a little miserable. Wind. They were a little miserable, but I was
even though we're beating that ass. God.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Cardinals for having a dome. I remember growing up having to sit in the fucking sun. I'll take the sun all day over. Yeah, I'd take that all day though over fucking wind, rain, sleet, fuck that. Yeah, you can take your shirt off and get a nice little suntan fucking at Sun Devil Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing shit like that, fucking Windy City.
I mean,
but before we move on, I do think that this game did show that, the fight for the number 1 seed is huge. To be able to not have to go into Green Bay, not like we're scared of Green Bay or anything, but just the elements with how often Kyler has fumbled. We don't want to keep testing that fate Thankfully we haven't given up any of those fumbles, but you could tell the ball was a little slick out there, especially that first pass.
Yeah.
That
The first
backwards
play.
pass.
I mean, we just don't even want to test that fate. If you give Kyler the perfect conditions, I mean, I'm gonna bet Kyler fucking 10 out of 10 times. I don't give a fuck who's on the other sideline. So, but I do think that the Cardinals. I mean, we're obviously a great road team, and there's something to definitely be said for that. You could play anywhere, anytime. Defense travels on the road, but to be at home, and I think I'm not too worried about the Cardinals' home field advantage. Once it comes playoff time, it's gonna be fucking packed to the rafters, Cardinals fans and rocking.
I do hope they can figure out what does make it work on the road as compared to home, though, because it does feel like we are stagnant at home compared to on the road.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know, but we got to figure it out. But we're healthy now. We've got a lot of wins under our belt. So I think now we're just playing for number 1 seed. So I think we're in a good spot.
Oh,
I'm looking at this slate right now, and it's not the best this week. There's like 3 good games. So what do you guys say we get into pick'ems?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, so game already in progress. We already chose everybody, and I think Mac was the only one who actually chose the Vikings. So Mac, you're probably gonna win pick'ems because the Vikings are up 23-0.
Holy shit! Okay.
Are they really?
So I picked the Steelers.
Yeah, I picked the Steelers.
I picked this.
God
I
damn it, Kirk Cousins.
I picked the Steelers.
You can't even suck reliably.
The ESPN Pick'em leagues where I'm fucking. I put a post out yesterday where I'm top 10 right now on all ESPN Pick'em. Fucking 100,000, over 100,000 people are in it. Top 10, but I did pick the Steelers tonight in that. I only picked the Vikings because you both picked the Steelers before me. Like, yeah, I'll mix it up. So we'll take that.
But yeah, so we already figured that out. Your first Sunday slate, first game of the Sunday slate, you've got Saints Jets in New York. Who do you got?
You gotta go. Oh, I gotta go Saints. That defense is a lot better. And then looks like Corey Davis is gonna be out for the Jets. And then Elijah Moore, he's stud rookie wide receiver. He has not practiced the last 2 games as well for the Jets. So I'm gonna go Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the Saints.
You guys are nuts. Taysom Hill threw 4 picks against the Cowboys last week. I mean,
his first start in how long?
Yeah, but I'm gonna fucking disagree with you guys. I'm gonna say go New York, go! And I'm gonna say
it's more not believing
Jets,
in the
baby!
Jets. It's more not believing in the Jets than anything.
I believe in the Mormon boy. Shit, it's a fucking Mormon battle. It's Zach Wilson versus Taysom Hill. Oh man.
They're gonna ride on their little bikes in their white button up. You have a minute to spare about our Lord and Savior.
After the game and shit, they're meeting at the 50-yard line trying to hand out pamphlets.
Yeah.
Lord. But I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like there's always something that happens these days, and I think that the Jets are going to get another. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, talk yourself into it. Go ahead. You're not talking me into it. What do we got next?
After that, we got Panthers Falcons. This game.
I feel like there's a lot of these games where it's like, fuck, it's not a great game, but it's like could go
either way. It's a toss-up
way.
Because both teams suck ass.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, especially this week because there's just so many games that fit that descriptor this week.
Is Cam the starter there still, or what's going on with that?
I think I don't fucking know. I think he got benched like in one of the games. I don't know if he's starting or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ATL. Your boy Cordaro.
Who's playing again?
Panthers
Atlanta
Falcons.
and the Oh yeah, let's go Atlanta.
here's the thing. Looking at the rest of the Panthers slate, unless they beat the Saints, this is the last winnable game on their schedule. If they don't win this game, Matt Rule is probably out of a job. So, I mean, I think he's going to be coaching out of his mind, but unfortunately for him, he sucks at his job. So I think it's going to be the Falcons.
Yeah. Bobbles picks Carolina.
Carolina? What the fuck? They don't have fucking...
Last time you said that.
They don't have anything.
Watch. Now, Matt Ryan's going to get hurt his pinky or some shit, then Josh Rosen's going to win them a game.
They have Cordaro Patterson. They have Cordaro Patterson, and they have Kyle Pitts. That's who they have.
Okay. What we got next?
After that, we got an... he's still going at it. After that, we got Seahawks Texans. Who you got?
Seattle.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I mean, we gotta go. I probably have to go Seattle as well.
Wait, did Jackie pick?
Yeah, it's Seattle.
Oh, I didn't pick it up.
She said, "Don't fuck with me, Will." She said, "I said Seattle, motherfucker. I get burnt 39 weeks and shit over here. Double asking me questions, nonsense."
Yeah, I mean, the Texans are. I thought they put up more of a fight last week, and that was kind of naive. But I mean, I thought Tyrod Taylor.
Who they play?
They played the Colts. It was stupid for me to think that, but I mean, this game is going to be ugly. I could see this being like a low-scoring affair. I mean, the fact that we don't know who's starting for the Texans, even though both of their players are healthy, that's not great. I think Seattle wins it, but I mean, that's not a ringing endorsement. Because both of those teams are just in the fucking gutter right now. But the next one could be interesting. You got the coin toss hero Las Vegas Raiders, and you got the fucking Kansas City Chiefs at your 1 o'clock slate. Who you got?
I'm going to go KC. I think they found something. I still don't believe in the Raiders, so that's my reasoning.
Yeah, I also go Kansas City as well.
Wow, it's something to not hear you say the Raiders or whatever the fuck.
The Raiders.
The Raiders. Shit, you do it better than I do. But
yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs are on a fucking streak. The Chiefs are on a fucking streak right now, and the Raiders just broke their coin toss streak. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Absolutely
not.
No.
There was this guy on Reddit who like flipped a coin to predict every single like Raiders game for the whole year. You know, heads is win, tails is loss, and he was right on every single one of them until last week.
It's because you talked about it last week. You jinxed it.
Did I talk about it last week?
Yeah, that's the only reason I remember. Last week or the week before, he definitely talked about it. Jackie might have been asleep by then. It was getting late.
I'm like, I don't remember that shit, so I was probably.
It might have been the week before. But yeah. Anyways, so who you picking? You're going with.
I'm gonna say KC, but again, I think that these AFC West bouts are always a fucking fight. The fact that this is a 1 o'clock game is really weird to me because this feels like a fucking 4:25 game. But I mean, maybe there's something later on that slate that I haven't seen yet. It's at KC.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a bloodbath. I mean, well, it's gonna be a bout, is what I'm trying to say. KC win, but I think it's gonna be a high-scoring affair. After that, you got Ravens Browns. Who you got?
This is a tough one. Browns are 2 games back of the Ravens in the division. Ravens just can't. I don't know. Their offensive line looks awful. Lamar has like no time to throw back there, at least against Pittsburgh and some of the last matchups.
The Browns are coming off a bye.
Are they playing in Cleveland or in Baltimore?
It is in Cleveland.
I'm gonna go Browns.
We'll go Baltimore.
I mean, it's gonna be 46. It's gonna be sunny. I think Cleveland's gonna win it. I think that Cleveland Browns are gonna come off that bye week and they're gonna be healthier, and I think that Because, I mean, Lamar Jackson's been having a rough couple weeks. I think that Miami game, he kind of showed his whole ass. And it feels like we always have this discussion late in the year. Like, wow, Lamar Jackson feels like teams really figured him out. And then, the next year rolls around and he goes back to doing his thing. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Browns got it. I feel like the Browns are going to win it.
Bill Bobbles picks Cleveland, so I'm only Baltimore. That's crazy. Okay. I like it. I like it.
After that, we got a game that could very well help decide a division. We got Cowboys football team. Who you got?
Well, I'm going to go football team.
Washington's playing better, I feel like, but go Dallas. I just think they're the better team. Yeah, I don't think Washington can put up enough points with them.
If my math is correct, if Washington wins this game, they do take control of that spot of the number one in the NFC East.
Aren't they 2 games back or no?
I mean, they're 6-6 and well, I guess they are. Shit, is one of them
Cowboys are 8-4.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, it's I'm bad at math. But I mean, I think that Washington can do it. I think that they've been doing well for themselves, and I think that if anybody can do it in the NFC East, it's them. I think that Washington wins that game, and I think it's gonna be a nice close one. After that, You got a fucking bloodbath. You got Titans Jags. Who you got?
Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna say it's the Titans.
Mac?
Didn't the Titans just lose to the Jags a couple weeks ago, or was that to the Texans? Or did that not happen?
They did, but like the Titans' whole thing is they lose to bad teams. And
except for the Cardinals. Yeah. Yeah, no, I gotta go Tennessee. I mean, there's no reason to believe in Jacksonville. Their offense is stagnant. They can't do shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go that route.
Yeah,
at least Urban Meyer will have fun in Nashville, banging some nice Nashville.
Talk dirty to us.
Christ almighty. I don't ever want to talk like that again. Good Lord. Lord. But shit, I think the Titans are going to win it. The fact that we are talking about this and we're so sure, and Derrick Henry isn't even in the equation, just goes to show how bad the Jags are this year. They're awful. That's what you get for fucking hiring Urban Meyer, man. Yeah, go Titans. After that, you got Lions Broncos opening up your 4:00 slate. Who you got?
The Broncos.
Oh, the one fucking time I don't pick the Lions over the last 3 weeks.
I know.
So I can get their first win last week. So you're welcome, Detroit fans. I know a lot of you tune into our show, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our biggest emerging market.
Fuck, and I hate the fucking Broncos. Of course, Bobalos picked Broncos. That's his team. See ya. I want to pick them so bad. Fuck it, I'm going Detroit. Let's go.
You know what?
Back to back.
I can see it. I could totally see it. I think Detroit's gonna win it. I think that I don't know.
Shit. We'll pick Detroit. I'm going Broncos.
Nope. You can't do that. Fuck you. Go to hell.
I'm kidding. Okay, so 2-2. Bobalos picks Denver.
You can't ever trust the Broncos. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a low-scoring game if nothing else.
Yeah, it'll be like one of those 17-14 type things.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you mean it's Detroit? That's the team that's going to beat us next week.
Obama's getting all offended in our chat. Thank you for saying it.
After that, you got
blood pressure again.
After that, you got Giants Chargers.
Somebody give Jackie some chocolate.
Yeah. Something.
Giants Chargers, you got.
Who? Chargers?
Chargers
who?
Giants.
Sorry. Yeah, Chargers. No more. What Daniel Jones, something wrong with him?
Yeah, he's
He
out.
sucks.
Glennon, I think Glennon got injured because they're fucking starting.
Big
What's
neck.
his name? Georgia quarterback. Help me out here. Georgia.
Frost.
Yeah, Jake Fromm.
Fromm. There we go. I
Jake
knew it
Fromm,
started with
State
an F.
Farm.
Yeah, we're going Chargers all day. All of us across the board, unless Will wants to get crazy.
Yeah, I'm not taking that. I'm not biting. Go Chargers.
I thought you love the New York teams, though. Okay, that's fine.
I do, but I've already done my go New York, go for the week.
Go New York, go New York, go. Go Ninjas, go Ninjas, go, go.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yep. Sorry.
All right.
Got lost in my childhood
we are all in agreement. Chargers.
Yep.
All right. After that, you got a Super Bowl rematch from like 30 years ago, if anybody cares. You got Niners Bengals. Who you got?
See, this is a tough one too. I mean, the obvious, you'd look at it and say Bengals. But I still don't believe in the Bengals. Who did they lose to last week?
They lost to the Chargers, and that was a really weird game because, like, if I remember right, the Chargers had a 21-0 lead. Then the Bengals came roaring back in the second quarter and made it a game.
That's right.
But then the Chargers scored like 26 unanswered or some bullshit like that, and then won.
But I trust Herbert over Garoppolo, so I'm going to say Bengals.
Well, but Herbert's yeah.
No. I'm saying that's why the Chargers won.
Oh, true. Yeah, they have the superior quarterback between those. And that's in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincy. I gotta go.
Yeah, I mean,
cold as fuck. So Joe Mixon's a beast. Some motherfucker still. Yo.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say about that.
Famous woman respecter Joe Mixon. Yeah, I think that the Bengals are gonna win it. I don't know. San Fran seems iffy to me. I can't quite. I don't feel 100% on them, especially since Jimmy G's their quarterback. I feel like they're a good. I feel like they're a good quarterback away from being something. And I don't know.
But fuck them.
Their defense still leaves something to be desired, though, too.
Yeah. I don't know. They've got interesting pieces. I'll give them that. But
yeah, I mean, I'd take Deebo Samuel on my fucking team all day if I had the choice. But yeah, I agree.
But after that, you've actually got a really stellar 425 game. You got Bills Bucks. Who you got?
Wait, so did we all go Cincy right there? Sorry.
I did, yeah.
I'm over here looking at stats and shit. Yep, Bobo's one as well. And I'm going Bills Bucks. I'm going Bucks. And fuck the Bills, man. Don't ever bring them in the same breath as the fucking Cardinals. That's a joke.
Man, remember,
fucking
like,
team.
in the middle of the season where they were like, oh, they're better than us or whatever.
They're the best team in the league and Josh Allen's MVP and blah, blah, blah. Fuck the Bills. Let's go Bucks.
Josh Allen revenge tour, baby. Go, New York. Go, New York. Go.
No, fuck.
You enjoy that a little too much.
There's this fucking basketball podcast I listen to, and one of the main guys is like a Knicks fan, so I don't know. I've been getting into it.
Big Stephen A. Smith fan, huh?
Nah, big Pod Don't Lie fan with Stam and Stav. If you don't listen to them, listen to them. They're really funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Brady. It's about time for one of his patented slip ups, you know.
He needs to open up the gate for Kyler Murray to be MVP. I mean, I don't. For what Brady's doing at his age still, like, I mean, the guy has multiple games with 5 touchdowns this year, I believe. It's just unbelievable. I'd put him as a front runner right now, but I wouldn't put Kyler too far behind him. And there's still time to catch up. You still got 5 games left. So I think this is going to be a big game. Cardinals haven't really been on, the only primetime game that they were on that we lost. Not to really Kyler's fault. If AJ turns around, that's a possible win right there. But I think this game and the Indy game coming up, on Christmas, if he can have a couple huge games, obviously you just want the win, but I think we'll see a Pat and Kyler game this Monday coming up in front of the national audience, and that could go a long way.
Yeah, and while we're on the subject of Tom Brady, real quick, I do want to quote my husband because we actually were talking about the MVP race earlier. My husband said it's bullshit because Tom Brady can take a shit, and it would be an MVP shit.
Yeah, I fucking hate that check down bullshit. Like he threw like 50 passes this week, and it's like you didn't need to do that. They were never down at any point in the game. So like
that's Bruce Arians' ball right there.
And I'm hoping that the same thing happens to him that happened to Carson. I'm just gonna say it.
What?
No, I'm saying like with Brady.
Get hurt?
Yeah, fuck Brady.
Okay, we're gonna move on. We don't want to be canceled.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
I mean, what
Jackie and I are saying we're not rooting for injuries, but
well, I mean, but if it were
to happen, then it happens.
Y'all remember what happened when we were 10-2 going in to play the Rams.
If you're still listening, Juan, I'm sorry. We don't speak for Will.
Yeah, we don't speak for Will.
Okay, I'll
everybody knock on wood and say a prayer for Kyler.
I'll just keep it simple and say fuck Brady, whatever. But Sunday night you got. Why is this even still scheduled? What the fuck? You got Bears Packers. Who you got?
I mean, how can you not go Green Bay?
Yes, and it pains me to say.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not predicting an upset there.
No, they're not gonna be able to score with them.
Yeah, that's like a 38-3 type game.
Unless Rodgers gets fucking COVID toe again or some shit.
Man, it would be really something if he like his bad decisions make it so they don't get that 1 seed. But yeah, I don't know. I don't trust that Bears team. I think it's gonna be the Packers.
Yep.
But after that,
Go Cardinals, go!
For the first time this year, the last one we cover on the week is the actual last game of the week. Your Arizona Cardinals versus the soy latte sipping, the
mediocre
Hollywood,
quarterback having.
Not even supported by their fucking hometown, LA Rams. Who do you have?
Cardinals.
Yep. I think
27-24. I think it'll be a little closer.
If you're new here, we picked the Cardinals, and the tiebreaker is total points. So you're picking AZ 27-24?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to go Cardinals. We brought up the stat how the Cardinals are 10-0 and running the ball over 90 yards a game.
I'm really fucking torn. I'm really torn.
Cardinals have scored the most rushing touchdowns by any team in the NFL. The Rams have given up the 27th most rushing touchdowns.
We need a new co-host.
Okay. So Stafford is 0-17 against teams that are 5 or more over 500. So we fit that category.
I am going to go. I don't think we're going to be able to run the ball as effectively as we did last time, but I do think James Conner gets a couple tugs, and I do think the Cardinals are going to win 31-20.
Can I make a bold prediction?
Go for it.
Fuck yeah.
Hop is going to get a touchdown over Jalen Ramsey. Like, over him.
Damn.
Ooh,
I dig it.
I like it.
But
I need that in my life. I need to see it.
Jesus. Rams win 28-24.
What?
The Rams are going to win 28-24.
Anyways, folks, if you would like to be the new
don't ever let Will
the Redbird Redzone podcast, please send your resumes to my email. It's
don't ever let Will
Hunter666.
tell you that he picked the Cardinals early in the year to be great. That definitely. God damn you, Will. Just right when we hit 100 subscribers, we probably just went down. Whatever.
Oh, there goes another dislike.
We're down to 0. We're down to 0.
What was the score? 28-20?
I had 28-24.
And Will's the jinx, so that's actually good news for everyone that he's picking the Rams. So, yeah. Alrighty. I am Bobabo's picks. Cardinals 34-18. I like it.
I like it.
God damn, man. I don't know. This whole thing.
We know you don't know.
Juju. Well, yeah, but you don't have to say it. I don't know. It gives me bad juju, and I'm not a fan of the vibe.
What vibe?
Well, get your vibes in check, okay?
All right.
Yeah, you need what you asked out that chick in your French class. Did you ask her out like Jackie said in French or no?
I asked her out in English and it worked.
Well, my
was
man.
she into like crystals and astrology and shit? Tell her to cast a spell on the Cardinals.
Maybe she could be our co-host. What do you think, Jackie?
Yeah, I concur.
But
alrighty.
Anyway, so this has been an episode of the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing.
And my name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego. That is 2 O's, soon to be mom.
Nice. Yo, I'm Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFiend. And fuck you, Bally Sports, for not retweeting my thing and stealing my fucking stat yesterday. So, peace.
And this has been a Redbird Redzone podcast. This podcast is a Max Hall production. Odell Beckham, give me all of your fucking Bitcoin, bitch. Peace.